Welcome back to Living Golf and the locker room here at Merion. Now, behind every major champion, there's a coach. And there's one family that has dominated that profession for decades now, the Harmons. Everyone from Greg Norman to Tiger, from Adam Scott to Ernie Els and Dustin Johnson. They've all benefited from the wisdom of the first family of swing gurus.
I don't think people realize really how long we've done this. I've been a golf pro for 47 years. I mean, that's a long time. That's older than more years than he is old. And yet I feel like I've done it my whole life because I didn't know anything else as a kid. That's what it was. That's who my dad was.
It's the Masters Tournament with Claude Harmon of Wingfoot competing against Bobby Locke of South Africa and many other top flight golfers.
Claude Harmon won the Masters in 1948. It was really the last club pro to win a major championship.
Harmon, Georgia-born pro, increases the two-stroke margin he held at the start of the final round, playing a sure and steady game. On the 18th, he holds out with a 2 under par 70 to win. His total ties the mark for the Masters. Bobby Jones presents Harmon the trophy, new Master of the Masters.
He had the greatest eye, I think, of anyone that's ever taught. He'd watch you hit 5 or 6 balls, and he'd know exactly what you were doing wrong, and he'd tell you, and he had a way of communicating it that was very simple, which my brothers and Claude and I have tried to carry on in the way we do things. In our family with 4 boys, it's interesting that you would have 4 sons that would go into the same business that your father was in, especially when he was pretty much a legend, even while he was still alive. And Dad was tough. I mean, he was a tough guy. His philosophy was that he would beat you down, not physically, verbally, just to make you angry and get mad so you would do better and show him.
He's got the same philosophy too.
Briefly, need and want. When did you feel that you needed to be a teacher?
It was just always something that was a part of my life, and very much like my dad, I realized once I actually started getting into giving golf lessons and actually teaching that I'd learned so much from being around my dad and being around all of my uncles. First time Tiger came to take a golf lesson with my dad, I was there that day in '93 and took the video of that lesson. The amazing thing about that day is every time you asked him to hit a shot, you'd say, listen, if you have let's say the pin's back here and you have to hit a shot like this, what do you do? And at 16 years old, he said, I don't have that shot. But he always said to you, if you show me how to do it, I'll try and do it and I'll try and learn how to do it, but I don't know how to do that. That's one of the things of that first day that always stuck with me, that at that age and at that stage of his golfing career, the honesty that he had with his own evaluation of his own game was always something that surprised me, and like my dad, it was no surprise to us to see him do what he did. I mean, recently when we got to work with President Obama at our club at the Floridian, for us to see the President of the United States and Tiger Woods playing golf together, it was so surreal for me.
If you'd have told me 20 years ago that a black man would be the President of the United States, I would have said you're crazy. And if you'd have told me 20 years ago that a black golfer was going to be the greatest golfer that ever walked the planet, I'd say you're crazy. And there they go. I mean, it was really amazing.
How did it come about?
The president was looking for a place to just take a long weekend with his friends away from the press. So he literally could just relax with 3 of his best friends, with Claude and I in golf and Tiger Woods, and he just had the greatest weekend that he could have. President Obama loves golf. He's not very good. He's probably an 18 or 20 handicap, plays left-handed, didn't hit the ball very far with a weak fade, but we got him where he could draw it and hit about 250, 260. And he says, man, I'm coming back here. This is really nice.
He was such a normal guy and just
couldn't have been more
made us all feel really normal, and it was just all chilled out, and he hit some good shots and hit some bad shots.
We'd love to show you the film of the lesson we gave, but the Secret Service, as soon as he walked out, took everything. In this day and age of the multimedia stuff all over the world, they didn't want it to show up on YouTube or anything. And I said to this one Secret Service guy, I said, well, I actually went on YouTube to look at the president's swing, and it was terrible. You actually might want some of these swings to go out on YouTube, because these look pretty good now. I said. I think if our father was still alive, he'd be very proud of all of us. He'd be proud of the 4 sons. He'd be proud of his grandson. because in reality, we're just carrying on what he taught us. He'd look at the amount of money you can make today versus what he made and just shake his head and go, really? You make all that and you don't know anything?
I taught you everything you know.
He'd be a very proud dad.